What's going on YouTube? Headed back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we have a bunch of important things to discuss. Obviously, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and we'll be wrapping up the episode with Digibyte to BTC. As you know, today is Sunday, which means it is the last day for Digibyte. So sad. But we will be doing a new altcoin starting Monday, so that will be pretty awesome. Otherwise, we will be looking at the recent price drop within the market, discussing when the next potential buy-in order will be set on this channel. Otherwise, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, giveaway at 10,000 subscribers for $100. We just broke 9,500 subs, so that's freaking awesome. We are literally blasting our way to 10K, so huge shout out to you guys. Otherwise, let's jump right into today's episode. So, as you guys can see, we are on the current coin market cap, and as I begin to scroll down, you'll notice the Bitcoin dominance is 56.9%, 24-hour volume is 63.9%, and market cap is 247.6 billion. So, okay, I meant to say 24-hour volume is 63.9 billion as well. So a couple of things to take note of is Bitcoin dominance is staying fairly regular with where it was yesterday, meaning that the alts and the Bitcoin price are staying fairly consistent with each other, not really seeing much separation at all, which is interesting to note because we usually see better swings if Bitcoin and the alts are separated. Otherwise, 24-hour volume is, I believe, slightly decreasing, which is interesting. And we have the market cap, which is slowly decreasing. As I scroll down to the top 10 cryptos, you can see all of them are in red. They are all falling down. Bitcoin's down 1.5%. It's now below $8,000. We see Ethereum down 2.4 at 248. Litecoin in the number 5th spot. There's about a $800,000 jump between Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin, which is pretty big. But Litecoin is over $100, only down 2%. So the market, I'd say on average, is down around 3% out of the top 10 cryptos. And that's pretty much how the market is looking. There's a couple coins. BitTorrent, which is interesting, is up 9.5%. But majority of the altcoins are down by quite a bit. Or not all of them are down, but they're all down. That's what I'm trying to represent. They're not down by like 30% or anything. Theta Fuel is down 21%. But they are all in red for the most part. Otherwise, guys, swinging our attention over to Litecoin. As you guys can see, we made a couple of interesting plays the past couple of days, and I would like to discuss on that further because I know we have a ton of new people subscribing to the channel, so I do want to briefly catch them up on what exactly is going on. So a couple of days ago, guys, for those of you who are new, we bought at around 85.61. Reason being is we saw and we noticed that there was an ascending wedge forming on the entire price. You can see all the way down from the bottom, we had all these trades that happened in between these purple lines, even when we broke above it, which was we caught the run up, sold off right here, and then we bought the dip, and then we made some more money as we traded up. But you can see it all has semi-relevance to this ascending wedge. Either we traded atop of it, in between it, or below it. So it does have some importance and relevance. So with that knowledge, we bought in at around $86, and then we rode the wave up. Now I'm going to click over to eToro. Hopefully this loads. I'll explain what eToro is in a second. Cool. So, as you guys can see, we bought at around 86. That was the projected price. That was, if you guys were in my Patreon, I did say to buy at 86. And then we rode the wave up. Now, I did sell off at around $96, right as we tested this resistance up at the top. And even though we were not in overbought territory, I had enough profit and I sold out. Now, if you guys wanted to buy or sell all the way at 104, hopefully you did sell off. I know I wasn't involved with that high, and I was telling people I recommend taking off profits, or I took off profits because we are anticipating a retracement back down to the bottom. And as you guys can see, eToro, if this loads up really quick, is the platform that we use in an effort to show the trades that I push on the channel. So what I recommend is to download eToro. For those of you who don't know what eToro is, it's a virtual trading platform for cryptocurrency. It's like a virtual simulation trading, similar to like the stock market, where you can buy and sell in our virtual portfolio. And what's awesome is I can actually show you guys every trade that we make and how they're all profitable. And in the end, something to consider. As you can see here, our first trade, $609 profit, 44, 887, 378, 927, and then our most recent one, which we bought at 89, it said, and then we sold it at 95, made us $721 profit off of 10,000, which is quite a bit of money if you ask me. $1,000 per coin. You know, if we did these the last 2 weeks, we made $2,000. That's quite a bit of money if you ask me. So this is what I push. I recommend you downloading eToro and using this to test out everything that you learn from this channel before you start applying it to real money. I don't recommend trading real money. It's not something that I say is a smart move, but trading it on the virtual platform is what I push and what I recommend, because it can show you guys the proof here. So you can see we've made a total of $3,569 since downloading eToro a couple of weeks ago. So moving on forward, Litecoin is starting to retrace, and I know that's what you guys are here for. When's the next buying opportunity? Litecoin's starting to pull back down. We're going to have to look at Bitcoin to really be sure as to how low it's going to go. Is Bitcoin overbought? Do we need to retrace lower? Where exactly is the price of Bitcoin hanging out? Because that's usually going to affect Litecoin. But if I do if I do make a comment, I'm looking at previous blasts through the uptrend, and you'll notice we did break up, and then we started a trade on top of the uptrend, and then we finally broke down below it. And you'll notice when we did this, we were up at the top being extremely overbought, and then we were trading right around here, and we pulled all the way back down. So it is definitely possible to say that that same thing could happen. So we could see movement like this, where we could fall, trade on top of the uptrend, break down in between our high-low MMA, and then we could easily come back down to $88.68. That's definitely a possibility, basing it off previous history. Obviously, we'll set some dollar cost averaging, and we'll set our stop losses in an effort to minimize our risk and to minimize, losing money. But I wouldn't recommend buying in until we're number one back inside the channel right here. So either when we fall back to $98, which isn't really much of a retracement, or it could be much steeper. We could literally see this fall right back down to here. But I would say a buying order set at $90 and then another one at like maybe 88 would definitely be something I am going to do. Now, the big contestant is what exactly is Bitcoin doing? So Bitcoin, no, it looks like Litecoin and Bitcoin's RSI are about in sync right now. And you'll notice if you've been watching the channel is that these lines right here, we notice an ascending triangle forming on Bitcoin. Now, I highly recommend you guys check out my Patreon, and I want to say that everything I just did, all the lines that I added have been also updated on Patreon for you guys who are subscribed on that. Patreon is a way for you guys to get exclusive access to my content that's not on YouTube. All these charts that I'm graphing come out delayed, and as we know, in a very intricate market, everything needs to be right on time. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on a run. So by setting up a Patreon, it was a way for me to implement these charts on my Patreon with live updates. So the second I make a line, the second I go like this, everybody who has me on Patreon will get this line. So you'll see when I draw on here and when I make lines, when I write, even when I add new charts, trends, symmetrical triangles, you guys will be able to see all this, giving you theoretically an advantage to the market and when to be buying in, as well as I do offer tutoring and a bunch of other things. So I highly recommend checking it out. It's the second link in the description. Otherwise, going back onto Bitcoin, you can see we do have this beautiful uptrend forming, and we have our cap at the top here. And it's looking to seem like as we ride the uptrends, we're going to start to face some resistance up here, and there's definitely that possibility of a retracement. That's what I'm pushing at. And I apologize, I have allergies, so my nose is a little stuffy, but there's definitely this possibility. And I just really want to throw that out. I'm more so bearish on where Bitcoin's headed than I am bullish for numerous reasons I'll explain. Number one is we have a cap here. It's an ascending triangle. I usually see ascending triangles break bearish in the market. Number two, we are way, way, way above our high-low MMA, which means we usually need to come back down to test that out again. Let me get off this. Okay. Number three, and another really big concern, is if you guys pay attention to where the RSI is. That is the biggest thing. So the RSI is right here, which is very high up, which means we don't really have much more room to head up. So we have a lot of resistance and a lot of downwards pressure at this level here. So we're going to head up most likely a little bit higher. We could go from our $7,900 to potentially $8,200, but there is a huge risk of retracement back down. And I'd rather not be involved in that until I see it correct itself. And if we do anticipate this move, we do see this pullback, I'll be buying in much lower. So we just have to be patient right now. It really shouldn't be more than like a week's time before we see that retracement, because right over here is pretty much May 30th, and May 30th is 4 days away. So it's going to be really soon. We're going to see what happens at the close of this ascending triangle. So definitely be patient. I will definitely let you guys know and update you guys on when the uptrend is broken or when my next buy-in orders are. And with that same knowledge, there is the same ascending wedge or ascending triangle forming on Ethereum. So the same thing is most likely going to happen. The one on Bitcoin looks a little bit better. The one on Ethereum doesn't. The only thing that is noticeable is that we are also very close to being overbought, and we're far, far away from our high-low MMA, indicating a potential retracement once again. And then lastly, checking out Digibyte 2 BTC. There's also an ascending wedge. The thing is, Digibyte is so much lower on its RSI. Trading at 52 gives us plenty of potential to move up higher, plenty of room to retest our high-low MMA. So honestly, the way this coin's looking, it looks like it wants to trade out sideways, consolidate, and then start to head up. So this is definitely a possibility. I would recommend you try it out on eToro, but eToro doesn't carry Digibyte, so I can't push this coin. All I'm saying is that there is definitely a possibility of seeing trading sideways, consolidation, and then a move to this upside here. So there is definitely a possibility of money to be made in this zone right here. There's room, there's like allowance to move up higher, especially because the RSI is only at 50. So great coin to be checking out. Thank you guys for recommending Digibyte, because there is this possibility. It's a pretty big one. Otherwise, guys, that's going to sum up today's episode. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. $100 giveaway at 10,000 subscribers, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.